Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, my name is Irdian Sunda and I'm from group 13. So on this video, I and my friends Joko will explain about our material which is authenticity in material development. So let's get started. Okay, so first will explain about the authenticity dilemma. Authenticity in ALT seems to be very contentious and complicated issues because many educators, teachers, and researchers uh, define distinguish different kinds of authenticity in the EFL or ESL classroom. Authenticity has long been identified as a valid concept in many disciplines. How this concept is used depends on the context within a particular discipline, but the fact that the concept has been used and defined in many disciplines implies its importance and key role it plays. Therefore, difference in defining authenticity depends on the perspective from which the concept is viewed. Next, defining authenticity. In Greek, authentic means original, primary, and at first hand. The Random House and Birch Dictionary provides a definition of authentic as not false or copied, genuine, real, veritable, sharing the sense of actuality and lack of falsehood or misrepresentation, having the origin supported by unquestionable evidence, authenticated, verified, or entitled to acceptance or belief because of agreement with known facts of or experience. Reliable, trustworthy, as and assumes from the definition that I said before. Then the word authentic comes carries a connotation of authoritative certification that an object or person serving the characteristic or source climate or implied. Okay, next is authenticity in English language teaching and learning. Authenticity is a major component with CLT, especially with regards to the text used in teaching and learning in order to convey meanings. The notion of authenticity has implication for language learner response, task, and classroom situation. Thus, one can talk of authentic learner response, authentic task, and authentic class situation. It seems that a consensus, however, has neither been researched on a precise definition of these terms nor on their relationship. Despite the disagreement on a precise meaning and definite definition of it, there appears to be at least an assumption that authenticity and authentic text and or materials are needed and thus recommended for enhancing efficient language learning. So the next the next topic of the material will be explained by my friend Joko.
Okay, the next material about appearances of authenticity identified in the literature. In reviewing the literature on authenticity in art area, the research identifies for average school to authenticity. Okay, the first approach, a native speaker based perspective. Native speaker point of view that is for them. Authenticity if is defined as a term of a native speaker criteria. For them, native speaker is one vital criteria, but is not the only criterion. For example, native speakers can read an inauthentic text if she or he chose to in the other word native speaker is necessary but not the condition for authenticity. It is also based on genesis, which means that genesis material are those which are products in reality by a native speaker and without undergoing any change. They are exited from the way they originally occurred. Winner Winner is the that's as a requirement to achieve. The second approach, the real communication perspective. The second school consists of a group of research and linguists considers authenticity as a description and a reflection of a reality. For them, authenticity means a real communication that is used for social purpose. Uh, it is applied in our daily lives between us native speaker or a language user. Authenticity is also must be original, so authenticity is a necessary requirement. That's implication of this approach is that the speaker can be native or non native speaker, and this is what's the difference the former approach from the second. The third approach, the instructional perspective. Given the argument of the third approach, it's that the only common point between the second and the third approach is the fact that there in no education that only the native speaker who is a source of authenticity, but apart from that there are no other common point between them. uh, on one can also uh, genuineness is not a condition according to this approach. It is rather the positive interaction and the appropriate response of the learn that's in order to achieve authenticity. It is also worth noting that this approach does not share any common ground with the first one. Does anyone conclude that as a group of scholars have their own criteria on which they base their approach of authenticity, and consequently their approach has different implication for the development of learning and teaching material. Okay, the next, the fourth approach, the learn needs and interest perspective. Finally, that fourth approach is shared by a group of research who relates authenticity. To learn needs and interest that is authenticity for them is rather when learn needs and interest are met. As the previous analysis saw, there is no requirement such as genuineness. This implies that is only the needs, interest, and personal detail that will determine the authenticity of the learning and teaching material. Thus, it would not matter according to the approach of the material are not genuine. Okay, maybe I think this all my presentation. Uh, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi